Hey there, Grumpy Old Fart here. I'm doing an unexplained event video on the Gil Perez Transportation. Yeah, I had never heard this story before. I did a little research, and I try not to do any unexplained stuff unless there's documentation. With this, apparently there is a little bit of documentation. So I'm gonna do this story. If somebody can debunk it, please do so. I don't want fake stuff on my channel, okay? But if you can debunk it, do so. If not, then hope you enjoy it. Here we go. Around the world, and since the beginning of recorded history, there are stories of people inexplicably moving from point A to point B almost instantaneously. I did a video a few weeks ago about just such a journey. Check out my video, The Sand Ship. This video is about a Spanish soldier in 1593 named Gil Perez. Before I get into this, though, if you enjoy my content, it would really help me out if you could hit the like button, subscribe to my channel, share my content, and post a comment or two. Remember, I welcome your comments, even if you disagree with me. Friends can still disagree, and as I said, if you can debunk this one, please do so. Check me out over on Rumble for my political commentary and weekly current events. If you enjoy a good book, check out my author page over on Amazon.com. My pen name is H.L. Anderson. You can find all of my books there, including the ones pictured here, the Drifters series. There's actually 4 of these books. The first one is Drifters, and then there's Drifters 2, Chaotic West, and Drifters 3, Sands of Blood. Drifters 4 is called Dynasty of the Heretic. They're, at their heart, they're shoot-'em-up, fist-fighting westerns. But they're fantasy westerns. They've got time travel, alternate dimensions, monsters, magic, mythology, religion, everything I could stick in here that I could think of, I stuck in there. Everything except for space aliens and spaceships. For that one, you got to go to my other series, the Devo Poland Chronicles. But yeah, if you enjoy the quirky weird, check out my author page, H.L. Anderson, over on Amazon. I can almost guarantee you're going to find something you like. All right, here we go. Excuse me. Gil Perez was a Spanish soldier stationed in the Philippines in 1593. He was a guard at the governor's palace in Manila. It was a normal sunny day. He became dizzy, and he rested against a wall. He woke up in Mexico City, 9,000 miles away. When he appeared, he was still in his guard's uniform, and he was very confused. He had no memory of the journey and was very vocal about the incident. Of course, nobody believed him when he told him what happened. He was investigated by the Inquisition. He was charged with desertion and was suspected of being a servant of the devil. Historically, the Inquisition is well known and infamous for their extraction of confessions, quote-unquote confessions from accused people. So we can only imagine the torture they put him through. Nevertheless, Perez held to his story and maintained his innocence. One of the bits of documentation that I talked about was he has a pay schedule in the Spanish Army. So the man existed. We know that. On with the story. Under intense questioning, Perez gave precise details of events which recently happened in Manila. Among these details, he included the assassination of the governor of Manila, Gomez Perez Desmariñas. Of course, the Inquisition recorded all of this, but they did not believe him. They threw him in prison. Then, months later, a ship arrived from Mexico, arrived in Mexico from the Philippines, from Manila, excuse me. It brought news from Manila. I'll get that right in a minute. Can't read my own damn writing. All of the details he recounted, including the assassination of the governor, were real. They did, in fact, happen, just as he said. Perez was released and sent back to Manila. Now, that's the only part of this story that I find hard to believe. That him knowing that stuff and appearing like that, that doesn't. To me, the Inquisition would have kept him. I'm just saying. They would have figured he was in league with the devil or something. There are skeptics who believe this is just a folk tale. The records of the Inquisition are incomplete, but they verify that Gil Perez was imprisoned in 1593 and then released some months later. If this is true, and Perez did spontaneously and instantaneously travel 9,000 miles, how was it done? Theories abound. There's all kinds of people have all kinds of theories. Teleportation, meaning spontaneous teleportation. Essentially, a freak wormhole opened near him and transported him from point A to point B. Which in that case, I would say he got lucky because he could have been opened up in the ocean, and if he was wearing armor, as they did at the time, yeah, that wouldn't have went well. Even without armor, that wouldn't have went well. Then there's time travel. Time slips have been recorded. People have claimed to be moved through time without their permission, without their knowledge. That I've done videos on that. Go check those out. Then there's magic. The area in the Philippines is known for witchcraft. Maybe Perez pissed off a bruja. Who knows? And finally, the old standby, aliens. Alien abduction. They just stuck him back in the wrong place. Honestly, who knows? If the story of Gil Perez is true, then it would certainly warrant more study. Again, if you can debunk this, if there's real historical data to debunk this, then by all means put it in the comments. I'll be glad to own up to it, because the part about them finding out that the information he gave was true and then they released him and sent him back to Manila, when it comes to the Inquisition, that part gets me. If it was just a normal interrogator, a military interrogator, then yeah, I could see that maybe. But the Inquisition, they were a little nuts. So I'm just saying. But anyway, if you can debunk this, honestly, legitimately debunk this, stick it in the comments. I'll own up to it. I got no problem with that. Otherwise, just enjoy the story. If anybody else has any other opinions or any more information, maybe I got something wrong, stick that in there too. I ain't perfect. I hope this finds everybody well. You folks have a good one. God bless one and all.